All right, Magnus. So, let's do one last Magnus Answers for the day. The guy that wields the dark Mjolnir is on his throne of thought, deliberating, ready to answer your question. Now, this one comes from something I can't read. And he says, was I out of line? And I've read through this one, and I'm going to answer the question, because he asked me several questions. I'm going to answer them as I go. I find that this is working pretty well for me if y'all have multiple questions within one fucking letter. So, this says, I want to hear your thoughts on this situation. Yesterday, I got into an argument with a female. I'm not saying lady for reasons I'll explain in a bit. Got into a fight in the casino because her cigarette smoke was blowing right in front of my mom's face. She's not a smoker, and when she started coughing, I politely asked the female to move her cigarette to her other hand, to which she replied, "Why don't you get out of my face?" After she said that, I started yelling at her and repeatedly called her a bitch. That's where you were wrong right there. Because if you request something like that, you want to return a kind word or reiterate it kindly again. If not, then you're probably going to want to get you're probably going to either you and your mom are going to want to move, or maybe you want to speak to someone, you know, that deals with security or whatever, you know, about the situation. Okay, you went from 0 to 60 real fast. Her negative energy, it impacted you, and you reacted negatively. So that's what happened. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have. I'm just saying that I'm looking on the outside. I'm on the outside looking in, and yeah, you went crazy real fast. So she said, after she said, "Why don't you get out of her face?" After that, she started yelling, because she confronted. You did it with exclamation marks, so apparently she yelled it at you. Keep in mind, you sunk to her level. You started calling her a bitch over and over again. You sunk right to her level. She brought you right down to her level. You want to act like a gentleman. You want everyone that's there to also see, when you act like a gentleman, you shame the other person. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times people are like looking at her like, what the fuck is, like, the whole crowd is looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They might even chime in like, wow, he asked you kindly, you know, it's his mother, he just doesn't want you blowing the smoke, I mean, you know, the smoke floating into her face. You know what I'm saying? You see that? Like, that works. So, and then she says she in turn called me a bitch for not being a man because I was fighting. It says I didn't hit her or anything. It says I didn't hit her or anything, and after the argument, because security had to intercede, I thought about what she said. I know I was justified for what I did because I was just protecting my mom. Now I got an idea you black too, brother. Because you know we get sensitive over our moms real fast. Now if you ain't black, okay, you're not black. But I know black men get very sensitive over their mothers real fast. I mean, I don't hear white kids insulting each other saying your mom. Black kids do that because they know it gets them. It gets them into a fight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're a little sensitive with that, and you went from 0 to 60 real fast, okay? So you really weren't justified with what you did, all right? That's me giving it to you real, just like a brother would, okay? He said, and I have a belief that whomever disrespects me or my family, regardless of gender, I will fight back. Now, I understand that defending your family. I totally get that. But there's always a way to handle things. And the majority of the time, there's always a way to handle things without getting really violent. I mean, yeah, you're a gym rat and you lift, because I saw the rest of it, which I'm going to get to in a second, but that doesn't mean she might have not had a few other dudes, you know, with her that could have fucked you up in front of your mom or shot you or something. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a lot of times hood rats, ignorant women have ignorant men with them. You get what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden you disrespecting an ignorant woman And then their sensitive ass man wants to defend her honor by killing you or stomping you in front of your mom. See what I'm saying? Like, I see the possibility. See, it didn't even have to go to this, man. It didn't have to go there. So, but I understand how you feel. I ain't no bitch. If she'd have been like, why don't you mind your fucking business or get out of my face, I understand how I would have felt. But, hold on a second. So, I said he was justified for what he did. You know, defend his family regardless. He said, did I cross the line here? Yes, you did. Am I less of a man for doing what I did? I wouldn't call you less of a man, but you could have been more of a gentle man. You know, you could have held yourself higher. You could have been a better human being by not reacting the way you did. You know what I'm saying? Now, he says, what would you have done? What I would have did if you know, I said, first of all, with the way I am, if the smoke was drifting into my mom's face, she was kind of blowing it in her direction. Like, I'm sure she wasn't like in your mom's face, but I'm sure it was like, you know, being blown or drifting into her direction. I would just been like, here, mom, move over here, you know, because, you know, like, I'm really non-confrontational, and I will get into something if I have to, but if I can avoid it in an easier way, because I know that things like in a casino, man, you're in a casino, you probably all around the table. I don't know where you were. I wish you had kind of set the setting for me, but I'd be like, here, mom, I'll take your place. Yeah, sit where I'm sitting, mom. Because I know how people are. I just know how people are. People take offense to you saying, can you move that to your other hand? I just know how people are. Like, it's when I was reading through this, as soon as I got to the part where you were like, I asked her to move, I was like, yeah, and she got mad because basically you invading her space, asking her, you basically telling her what to do. That's how she's looking at it. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying I saw this shit coming. So, then you said, what would you do? And then you said, why are women trying to challenge some men who are bigger and physically stronger than they are? Because they know you ain't going to hit them. That's why. Or they think the majority of the time you ain't going to hit them. Because they're weaker than you and they can talk to you any way they want to and you ain't going to do nothing. They figure they can punk you in front of people and you won't do nothing. The problem is with that is that if you were going to hit her, she would have found out. And a lot of women find out the hard way. They talk to men or people that are bigger and stronger than them like there ain't air and opportunity in between them. Like they couldn't get knocked the fuck out. I think people, like, you both acted in the wrong way. I don't think you were wrong for asking her to put the cigarette in her other hand, but I think you could have just did it another way because, like I said, I know how people are. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so then you said, in this case, yeah, you said, I'm a gym rat and she looks like a senior and she looks like a senior and is a little on the heavy side. I don't consider her a lady because of her bitchy attitude, inconsideration, rudeness, and disrespect for others. What are your thoughts? Yeah, she's everything that you just said that she was, man. But, it's one of those things where even if you had said something to somebody, security or whoever was running the blackjack table, poker table, whatever you were doing, can they really say, ma'am, can you please move your cigarette to the other hand? She's not going to do it. You know what I mean? She's not going to do it. It's one of them things that's so petty that it's not even worth it. Here, switch spaces with me, Mom. Here, we'll move to the other side of the table, Mom. That's how I would have did it. Because it's not worth it. Altercation is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she had went like this in your mom's face, now I understand why you snapping. But like I said, it ain't, you got a short fuse, son, and I get it. I got one too. but I have learned to control it. I have learned to control it because I have realized that the majority of the time, it ain't worth it. It almost is never worth it. Alright? Especially for a bitch you don't even know. Oh man, subscribers. Woo!